Hello everybody and welcome to the most advanced section in this course. Now, I know that this course is for the beginners, but I decided that we should actually touch a little bit on a more advanced subject, which is the coding part of the actual ethical hacking, and see how we can code a malware, but not in any programming language, not in Python, not in Java. Let's see how we can code it in C, which is the mother of all languages. It is a language closer to the processor than, for example, Python, and therefore, if you learn the actual C programming for ethical hacking, you will not be considered a script kiddie, and you will actually understand everything on a whole nother level. It is not same as it is not same as Python or any other programming language. C is actually a lot harder. Now, what we're going to do in this section is we're going to code a simple actual server, which is going to be ran on our Kali Linux machine, and a malware that is going to be undetectable by Windows Defender, by any antivirus, since it is our own code that we are using. I coded this basically a few months ago, therefore there shouldn't be any same piece of malware or piece of backdoor, how you wanna call it, in existence, so this will be unique. Of course, now after some of you or most of you start using this malware, it will get detected by a bunch of different antiviruses, therefore you will have to keep it updated as much as you can. Okay, so the first thing that I want to mention right here is that we are not really going to use or to learn C programming, so that is something that you should have to already know, or you can actually try to take some other courses or search some YouTube videos that explain C programming basics. Now, you will not understand basically anything if you don't have any programming language experience before, whether it is any other programming language, it doesn't really matter. It can be from Python, from Java, from PHP, doesn't really matter. I will not explain the actual functions that I'm using, the if loops, the while true loops, and so on and so on. I will actually consider that you already know all of that, so keep that in mind. So maybe the best thing that you can do if you completed the entire course up to here is to actually, in case you don't have any programming experience, is to actually go and learn C programming, or basically just watch some videos about the beginning of C programming or any other programming language, and then come back and you might understand this on a whole nother level, because I will not be explaining this in great details. Okay, opening up our Kali Linux, there is one thing that you might need in order to actually compile C programs, and I don't mean might need, you actually will need this, and it is called the GCC. Now, on this page right here, hackingtutorials.org, you can see how to actually compile Windows exploits on Kali Linux. Now, C programs are a little bit different than actual Python programs because, for example, once we coded the actual Python program, a reverse shell in Python, it can be ran both on actual Windows and both on Linux if they all have the Python interpreter. But the actual C programming, we have to code a server that is going to be ran on Kali Linux, which is a Linux environment, and we have to code a malware or a backdoor, which is going to actually be an exe file, so executable file for Windows. So those are two different types of programming in C, and you will see in future videos how we are going to deal with that. And also keep in mind that we're just going to create the basic malware, which is still going to be hard to understand for you beginners, but for a future course, I have the same malware that we're going to create right now, just a lot updated. Since we are creating something that is going to be able to control this PC and execute actual commands on this PC, as well as check directories and switch between directories, in a future course, which is going to be more advanced course, I'm going to explain, or I'm going to code the same malware just with a bunch of different options, such as, for example, creating persistence in registry, uploading, downloading files, starting different programs, and also, for example, trying to connect every 20 seconds, and so on and so on. Keep in mind that this is also a little bit advanced malware because it is undetectable, it is coded in C, and it is not really for beginners, but we're going to deal with it anyway. So let's start with it. Let's not make this video any longer. What you're going to need is this GCC, so you can go to this page right here. As we can see right here, mingw-w64, how to compile Windows exploits on Kali Linux, and if you go down here, it will tell you how you can install this. It is rather simple, just these two commands, and apt-get update we already know. It should install this for you. Here are some actual, I believe, solutions if you get an error, for example, unable to locate package under this name. As it says right here, sometimes you get unable package or unable to locate package error when trying to install the Ming package and get something like this. Now then you need to go and edit your actual sources.list. So that is how you can solve this. And down here are some of the other compilation errors, as we can see, which is not really interesting for us at the moment. So all you need to do is simply just run these two commands, and if you run onto any error, then you can scroll all the way down and check out different errors that appear during the installation. But that is the only program that you're going to need, because we're going to compile the C programs right here in our Kali Linux. For this video, we're only going to start off with this server.c. So we are going to call it server.c. Let me just let's go to the desktop, and in the desktop we can create mkdir C programs. So here is our directory. It just appeared right here on the screen. So let's change directly to the C programs, and there we're going to nano server.c. Now you need to add .c because .c is an extension for this language. Well, logically, in order to actually compile this, you will notice once we finish all of these programs, you will notice that the compiled program will not have any extension on Kali Linux machine. At least for the server. The actual backdoor that we're going to create will have an exe extension. It will be something similar to the actual meterpreter.exe, because the meterpreter is also coded in C, I believe. So let's start off right here just by including some of the actual libraries that we're going to need. I will just type them right here. Those are the libraries that we're going to need in order to, for example, create socket connection, in order to manipulate with strings and so on and so on. You will see that this language is a lot harder than Python, for example, and there is also much more syntax that you need to take care of in case you actually make a mistake. So let's start off with including these libraries. So include, and this is a standard library, stdio.h, and you will notice that the libraries in C actually have the extension .h, which stands for header, I believe. And let me just include. And the next one is sys/types. Now just copy what I'm doing right here. These are the libraries that we're going to need. Sys.socket for the socket programming, so socket.h, because without these libraries we wouldn't really be able to code this. Another library which we need is net-inet, and most of these libraries we actually need for some specific functions, such as, for example, set sock options or sockets, or basically any other commands and functions that we're going to use in this program, as you will see. And another famous library in C that we're going to need is standard lib, so stdlib.h. The next one is for the string manipulation, so we need string.h. Next one is unis.std, so uni.std.h, and the last one is going to be, I believe, for only one function, and we are going to include it anyway, so arpa / and then inet.h. Okay, so basically these are all of the actual libraries that we are going to need, and we're going to actually finish this video as a beginner's or as a beginning video for this actual section right here, just by including the library. So I will just Control O, and in the next video we're going to start off with our main function and creating our socket object. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye.